From medical equipment and helicopters to turbines and mining equipment, American companies stand ready to support India's growing economy, the needs of your people, and your ability to defend this nation. And today's deals will lead to more than 50,000 jobs in the United States. 50,000 jobs. Everything from high-tech jobs in Southern California to manufacturing jobs in Ohio. Now, these are major deals that are significant for both our nations. But our trade relationship is not just about what America sells India, it's also about what Indian investment in America is doing. Indian investment in America is among the fastest growing of any country. In recent years, Indian companies have invested billions of dollars in the United States, in American machinery, manufacturing, mining, research, technology. Today, these investments support tens of thousands of American jobs. And at the same time, hundreds of American companies, including many small businesses, are investing in India. Not just in telecommunications, but in industries from clean energy to agriculture. This means more choices for Indian consumers and more jobs for Indians and Americans. Our relationship is also about more than the goods that we sell or the investments we make. It's about the innovative partnerships we forge in the name of progress. Before I came here, I had a fascinating meeting. I met with business leaders from both our countries, including some incredibly young Indian entrepreneurs. And what's fascinating is the way that they are now partnering to take technology that has had one application and use in the United States and found entirely new uses and new business models here in India. They're working together to make cell towers across India that can run on solar and not diesel. They're putting American technology into Indian electric cars. They're trying to bring new filtration systems and clean drinking water to rural India, and they're trying to develop better drugs for diseases like malaria. These are examples of American companies doing well and Indian companies doing well. And these partnerships remind us that by pursuing trade and commerce, we are unleashing the most powerful force the world has ever known for eradicating poverty and creating opportunity. And that's broad-based economic growth. Now, despite all this progress, the economic relationship between the United States and India is still one of enormous untapped potential. Of all the goods that India imports, less than 10% come from the United States. Of all the goods that America exports to the world, less than 2% go to India. Our entire trade with your country is still less than our trade with the Netherlands. This is a country with a smaller population than the city of Mumbai. As a result, India is only our 12th largest trade partner. I have no doubt we can do better than that. We can do much better. There is no reason this nation can't be one of our top trading partners. And that's why we want to work together with you to remove the barriers to increase trade and investment between our nations. In the United States, we're committed to doing our part. With India and our other G20 partners, we've resisted the protectionism that would have plunged the global economy even deeper into recession. Today, our country remains one of the most open economies in the world. And while I make no apologies about doing whatever it takes to encourage job creation and business investment in America, I still work to make sure our efforts don't unfairly target companies and workers from this nation or any nation. And to further increase our exports to places like India, we're marshaling the full resources of the United States government to help our companies sell their goods and services in other markets. We're increasing export financing for small and medium-sized businesses. We're being a better advocate for our businesses. We're increasing our trade missions. In fact, my Secretary of Commerce, Gary Locke, will be leading another trade mission to India in the next few months. And we're reforming our export control system so that even as we strengthen our national security, we make sure that unnecessary barriers don't stand in the way of high-tech trade between our countries. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we will work with India to fundamentally reform our controls on exports, which will allow greater cooperation in a range of high-tech sectors and strengthen our non-proliferation efforts. So we're taking the necessary steps to strengthen this relationship. India can also do its part. Over the past 2 decades, it has become much easier for companies to do business and invest here in India. It was striking talking to some of the American CEOs who are here, who've come frequently over decades and seen the incredible progress that's been made. But I don't think it's any secret that infrastructure, regulatory barriers, and other issues of uncertainty still pose some serious challenges. Today, India is making major investments in its infrastructure and creating greater transparency to support growth and entrepreneurship. Going forward, that commitment must be matched by a steady reduction in barriers to trade and foreign investment, from agriculture to infrastructure, from retail to telecommunications. Because in a global economy, new growth and jobs flow to countries that lower barriers to trade and investment. These are steps we can take together to strengthen the economic ties between our nations. Ties that hold incredible promise for our people and our future. The promise of new jobs, new industries, and new growth. Whether or not that promise is fulfilled depends on us, on the decisions we make and the partnership we build in the coming years. We must admit it won't always be an easy road. But as I stand here today, I can tell you that I'm absolutely confident we will meet this challenge. Because in our 2 nations, I see the fundamental ingredients to success in the 21st century. I'm confident because we both cherish the entrepreneurial spirit that empowers innovation and risk-taking and allows them to turn a good idea into a new product or company that changes the world. And we have examples of Indian entrepreneurs and American entrepreneurs sitting right here who've already begun to do that. And I'm confident because we both know that for those businesses to thrive, our nations need to invest in science and technology, in research and development, and in infrastructure for the 21st century. I'm confident because we both recognize that knowledge is the currency of the future, and that we must give our children the skills and education that success requires in a global economy. And I'm confident because our countries are blessed with the most effective form of government the world has ever known: democracy. Even if it can be slow at times, even if it can be messy, even if sometimes the election doesn't turn out as you'd like, for we know that when governments are accountable to their people are more likely to prosper, and that over the long run, democracy and economic growth, freedom in the political sphere and freedom in the economic sphere go hand in hand. We believe that. What gives me the most confidence about our future is our greatest resource: the drive and ingenuity of our people. Workers and entrepreneurs, students and innovators, Indians and Americans, including the nearly 3 million Indian Americans who bind our nations together. For despite all the sweeping changes of the last few decades, from the reform of the licensing Raj to the technological revolutions that continue to shape our global economy, it has been people who've driven our progress. It is individual men and women like you who put their shoulder to the wheel of history and push. An American scientist who discovers an agricultural breakthrough. An Indian engineer who builds the next generation electric car. A small business owner in Detroit who sells his product to a new company in New Delhi. And all the Mumbaikars who get up every day in the city of dreams to forge a better life for their children. From the boardrooms of world-class Indian companies to the shops in the winding alleys of Dharavi. This is the spirit of optimism and determination that has driven our people since before we were nations. The same spirit that will drive our future. And that's why I'm thrilled to be in India and with you here today. And that's why I'm confident that we can and will forge new economic partnerships and deliver the jobs and broad-based growth that our peoples so richly deserve. And I am absolutely certain that the relationship between the United States and India is going to be one of the defining partnerships of the 21st century. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.